was even having a conversation with a young artist, and he was talking to me about, I think it's time for me to sign a publishing deal. I said, do you understand what you are signing, first of all? He had no idea. They just brought like maybe a huge amount of money. It's a lot of money that they asked this guy, that they offered this guy. But by the time I broke it down to him, he was like, I said, yeah. So choose wisely. I'm not telling you what to do, but I'm telling you what they would not tell you. So make a decision. Information, key.
So the question I was trying to ask was, what about the Western model?
Ownership.
Ownership. We sacrificed the ownership.
Who is we? I own my stuff.
No, okay. Okay, what I mean. You know what I mean.
I get what you mean.
Yeah. But you don't think Afrobeats sacrificing ownership for a generation of talent was necessary for what it brought to us?
This is a very deep question. Do I feel it was necessary for it to become
what it has become?
Okay.
Do you think that was a steep price to pay? But like, do you think it was necessary?
So, I need to ask you a question.
Yeah.
The record with Skepta, and the thing is this, even because I have to think of the people that broke out, right? The problem is, even the model back home before Afrobeats to the World came about was still a replica of the American one. So, for me to say, yes, you're right, it was necessary. It was necessary. Because people didn't have any other way to do it. And personally, me watching people make their mistakes is what gave me the idea for my own model, right? It was like, this is not sustainable. And it's never been sustainable, you know? There's so many artists that have been ripped off the right to pass down catalog to their children because they don't even own it. Imagine hearing your song being used by an artist and you don't even have the right to authorize clearance. You know, this is heartbreaking. So from that standpoint, it's like, pick your poison. Do you want that cash up front? And like I told you earlier, cash is debt. I think a lot of people want money, but if that money does not have purpose, you just owe. Whatever money you have needs to have a purpose so that it's giving you back that money plus more, which is the only reason why I feel you need cash, right? If you want to be buying Range Rover and Lamborghinis, and then you're not ready for this business, honestly. So, yeah.
Do you think we were embraced right outside this market?
What does right mean?
A lot of people, so at the start, we used to have the micro battles at the start, like Burna Boy screaming, I want bigger fonts.
Okay.
And then it became, hey, we are execs, we only work with only white people are populating the place, foreigners, not even white people, right. Foreigners.
Right.
And then after a while, a generation of industry execs, operatives became employed. But over there, a lot of that time I've spent it over here, except a few times where I've traveled. Everything appears outsized and larger than life over here.
Right.
So
like from a consumption standpoint.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
So we were for a long time we were just happy that we were in America.
Right. Pity this boy.
Yeah. But it's true. For a long time we were just happy that we were in America.
Yeah.
And then after a while, it became we started having after the balls have started rolling and the die has been cast, we began to talk about things like ownership. Ownership was second order thinking.
Yeah.
So in America, not in America, globally, America is just one.
Yeah.
In America, do you think we got our foot solid in the ground before? I'm trying to phrase this question in a way where before we went crazy.
I get what you mean.
Yeah. Do you think we got our foot in the ground? Do you think we did enough work as a culture?
So, as a culture, okay. So I'm gonna go on a tangent, but it's still cohesive with what you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Now, in terms of like breaking in, like the Burna Boy font thing, right? I feel all these things here is just merit based, right? The bigger you are, the bigger your font. That's just what it is, right? and you're entering a new market that already has its thing going on, right? It is very difficult to penetrate America. I don't think people understand how hard it is, right? So
Why is it that hard?
because they have their own thing going on and they are their own people, they have their own interests. Like for you to catch the interest of an American, I mean, think about it from the standpoint that these people don't really know what's going on in other countries. Talk less of your music in another country. Do you understand? It's like a subgenre of a subgenre for them. You get. So to penetrate America is very tough because America is its own machine. They have their politics, they have their artists, they have their drama, they have their Real Housewives. They have so much going on from a consumption standpoint that for them to even pay attention to another person that's trying to tell them, hey, please consume this, and you're not speaking their language, you're not doing anything to really appeal to them, then clearly it's even more than the music that you have to do. You have to sell the culture, right? So shout out to the diaspora, obviously, which is England and all of that. Like Afrobeats moved from Lagos to Europe, from Europe to America, and as a result of just how we are as Nigerians, we became like appealing. Plus, a lot of African Americans are Nigerian too, right? So I think overall, a lot of things played a role in making America pay attention to us. It's not just the fact that we have artists, it's a lot of things that happen simultaneously. Also factor in the whole Wakanda forever. Like so many things happen at the right time to make this thing happen, right? Now, remember I said America is a very hard place to crack. And you use the word as a culture. The truth is this: our culture has not been exported. It's individuals that have been exported. You understand? You have Burna, Wiz, Tems, David, Rema, Ira. Everybody else is still trying to fight to find their way inside that market. And I know this because of numbers. Do you understand? I've been privileged to see some numbers from a touring standpoint. And if people are not rushing, do you know how hard it is to fill up 3,000 capacity in America as an Afrobeat artist? It's tough. It's tough. Do you understand? Because and I'm not talking about your diaspora fans, though. I'm talking about Americans. Do you understand? Because the diaspora market makes a very small percentage of the American market.
Yeah.
So if you're trying to break into the American market, you need the special grace of God. So it's not the culture that's broken in. A lot of people still don't know a lot of people that do Afrobeat music in America, but they know specific people that are representing the culture, and as a result, they will buy into the people rather than the genre. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, so that's what's going on right now as we speak.
Then why do we think it's bigger than that over here?
Twitter. When you see Tems at the Met Gala, it makes you feel, oh, Afrobeats. But to America, it's Tems at the Met Gala. Do you understand?
Yeah.
It's Tems. That's what you're seeing. Do you understand? When you see Rema performing as Ballon d'Or, Nigerians, oh, Rema is Afrobeats is a Ballon d'Or. So Ballon d'Or is Rema. You understand? So their point of contact is the person, and it's up to the person to represent their culture or represent themselves or both. It goes either way. You understand?
You guys did Aston Martin.
Yeah, man. Shout out my Aston Martin guys and my Formula One boys. Aramco, love you guys, man. Thank you.
Yeah, that looked really good.
Thank you.
That looks really. You guys do a lot of cool things.
Yeah. Bro, thank you. It's the grace of God. I have to give credit to my Lord and Savior, because the ability to move clearly comes from above. Because it's one thing for you to think about it, and then the execution happens and it's perfect. It's like, okay, this one is deep. You understand?
Yeah.
So from the standpoint of Aston Martin, I'll give you some context around the way we move in general. What are the things that they will not expect a woman to do?
Yeah.
That's it for me. Do you understand? And Wale and I are men that can think outside of the box from the standpoint of the things that would not only make her look good. Yeah, so first of all, I have a huge team. Do you understand? There's a huge team of people in Leading Vibe that, work with us. And when we come together to brainstorm, it's always a mazza. But obviously everything starts with Wale and myself. Fundamentally, the things that we try and do, right, are things that we feel people wouldn't think a woman should be doing. Talk less of a woman from Africa, you understand? And because in our mind, Tems is still an artist that hasn't even reached her peak. Do you understand? Like, she hasn't reached her peak. She just dropped one debut album. Yes, she has a couple of Grammys, a couple of Oscar noms, but it's just the beginning. So what we are doing is thinking of ways we can expand her brand past to what people can comprehend. You understand? It's one of the reasons why we'll do Formula One. It's another reason why we'll invest in an MLS team, you understand? And we're doing a whole bunch of stuff that I wouldn't talk about now. But we're always thinking that way. Like, you can't see us coming by the grace of God. Like, if you can predict us, best believe we're not doing that. Like, if you can think about it, we're not doing it. Just know.
Okay. I'm very tempted to go into leading vibe, but I still
Yeah,
have
yeah.
no. Before
Yeah.
if we're going to leading vibe, it goes now. You manage very successful artists.
By the grace of God.
Thank God.
Thank God. Every day, every second. Every second. I can't believe it.
You manage very, very successful artists. And people would look to you as an expert.
Mm.
Yeah, because you've got numbers on the scoreboard. You've done it. Yeah.
Is this wine muiwa episode?
No.
But I hear you.
It is it is state reality episode.
Yeah.
When you manage an artist, first, I want to understand why you choose the artists you choose.
Yeah.
And then when you manage them, what does management means to you?
Yeah.
Why you choose the artist, and what does management mean to you in relation to that artist?